means I'm human. That I yawn sympathetically.
What a Aquarius way to start this episode.
It is. But isn't that a thing that like, if you like, there's some, what is it? Is it like psychopaths don't yawn? Isn't that like a thing?
Okay. So there's that. And I've only seen this floating around like Facebook on like shitty GIFs. So like, I don't know if this is true, but it's that thing. It's like, if you see someone yawn, and you yawn, it means like you're an empathetic person or something. You have like a higher level of suggestibility, empathic suggestibility or some shit like that, right? And then people started saying that like psychos don't yawn.
Yeah, that's always what it's like, a very intense thing. But I've always heard that. I'm just like, I don't know about that. Like, I mean, you're still gonna, you won't yawn out of sympathy, maybe. Like, of course you're gonna yawn, but like, you might, how do you know? You're gonna yawn out of sympathy. Like, occasionally, I can't imagine not yawn. Dude, my dogs have to yawn, and then I yawn.
Yeah, I can, just talking about yawning is giving me like a low grade.
It does. I feel it. I feel it like kind of in between my nose and the back of my throat. Just like, well, you could just yawn. You're talking about it so much.
You just have to have a yawn. How many people are yawning right now listening?
I you know what? I'm going to bet a solid handful.
You know what? And if you're not yawning, you're a psycho. Sorry.
Shit.
It's science.
Yes. Done.
Oh my God. So today's episode is late, and I feel like we should address it. If you're listening, of course. If you're one of the 5 people that listen on the day it comes out.
Which, hey, thanks.
Hey, thank you. 2 years from now, this won't matter. But I got sick. I got a bit of the sick yesterday, and it wasn't like a COVID sick. I got the food
poisoning, which like. I'm always like sympathetic when anyone is sick, but if somebody's got food poisoning, I'm a level of sympathy that I'm just like, oh, but like, take as much time as you need. I hate it. It's terrible. Food poisoning is one of the worst things.
Immediately, you were like, let's just
let's I know you're gonna feel like shit, because when I got food poisoning in January of 2020, I felt like. That's the worst I've ever felt. It's the worst I've ever felt. And I've had like stomach bugs and whatnot. It doesn't matter. It's the worst. It's just awful. Your body is just like, you're along for this convulsion ride, buddy. Too bad.
And I don't want to get, gross. So we're not going to go there. But what was worse to me was the side effects. It's dehydration, terrible. Just feeling so, and all the things that come along. Because if I get dehydrated, I get a headache immediately. Just that is the first thing, like I can just think about, I'm kind of thirsty, boom, headache. And it's crazy because do you ever get like a headache, like a dehydration headache? And the second your lips meet water, it goes away.
Most headaches, really. I think a lot of general headaches will just come. And I do notice if I just like slam a solid glass of water in about 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes, I'll just be like, oh, doesn't hurt anymore, and you just kind of move on about your day.
Immediate. Yeah. But I was dehydrated, but also like, scared to try to keep anything down. So I got Pedialyte like a baby child, and I drank Pedialyte and I watched Breaking Bad in my bed.
It's the electrolytes.
It is. Brondo has electrolytes.
I hate it for you, homie. It's terrible. But we're here recording a one-take Sally.
Well, one take Sally. So there might be some inclusions that you wouldn't normally get in a regular edited, or fine-tuned edited episode.
Quality.
I just want to say, I brought all of this on myself. I did eat the sus. The
sus shrimp will get you every time. For me, it was sus chicken. And you know what's the worst? At least in my case, I knew it wasn't right. My alarm bells were this isn't right, but I'm hungry, so I'll just deal with it. I'm sure it's going to be okay, but there's something a little weird about this, and it's the worst when it shows up and you're like, son of a bitch, I could have stopped this.
Yeah, you immediately know. If I would have just ate around that chicken.
It's the worst.
All right, well, so that's our explanation. Please please forgive us. Outside of that, we do have a Patreon shout out for this very late episode. So you get the special food poisoning episode. This goes to you, Christina N.
Christina N. Thank you, Christina N.
Christina N. I mean, this is a one-take Sally. I feel like we would be remiss if you did not do Mustang Sally.
I'm having a complete shit brain moment because I don't remember how that goes. Period.
All I remember is Mustang Sally.
I was trying to rack my brain on something with poison. I was like, what is a song with poison?
I don't know. But as soon as you said poison, I thought of Rubber Lips.
Rubber Lips, immune to your charms. Okay. Well, all right, let's take it a layer deeper. Let me think of that soundtrack for a minute. Okay. What are some songs? I feel like they're all made up. They're all actually, now that I think about it, I don't think there's a legit pop song in Batman and Robin. I think they're all Danny Elfman scores.
I'm Googling Batman and Robin. Didn't Prince
that
do,
was okay, but that's in the Jack Nicholson Batman. That's when he's the Joker. Because also,
are you kidding me? This can't be right. Hold on.
God. Oh God.
The end is the beginning is the end by the Smashing Pumpkins.
In Batman and Robin?
That's what it says. Batman and Robin music from inspired by. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, track listing number 1. The end is the ending. The end is the beginning is the ending. However,
okay.
That goes,
well, since you are our resident fan. Smashing Pumpkins fan, I think you need to take this. You need to take this Patreon shout out segment.
Wait, hold on, and I might yet, but it's funny for not being able to. Oh my God, listen to this. Hold on. The first track in the movie is The End is the Beginning is the End by Smashing Pumpkins. The last track is The Beginning is the End is the Beginning by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay, I don't remember it opening with that. I remember it opening with their dicks being slipped into tight rubber and like it showing their nipples and buckling their little dick belts. That's all I remember. I don't remember any Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah. I remember the gentle fondling of leather against
like
nipple.
pulling it up and it shows the little butt bounce. That I remember that.
Let me read to you some of these tracks.
Okay.
I need you to hear these, okay? So we've got Gotham City by R. Kelly.
Whoa.
We have House...
okay.
We got Revolution by R.E.M. Foolish Games by Jewel.
I don't know about this.
Lazy Eye by Goo Goo Dolls.
What? When?
There's a song called The Bug by Soul Coughing. Let's see, anything else of note?
I'm floored.
There's a song called Moaner by Underworld. But so there's a couple of bangers.
Well, I nominate you putting Christina N. I nominate you putting it in any Smashing Pumpkin song of your choice.
Christina N is a vampire. That's all I got.
Fight all my rage, I'm still Christina in a cage.
Did you say in a cage?
I meant to say cage, but it was just a growl.
I like
in a cave
so much.
Jessica J in the river. We're gonna take a little pause here because we've got a sponsor, a return sponsor, coming back for more than seconds, which is nice. We're talking about Prairie Fire Herbal today, and they're releasing a kit that y'all really need to listen to because this is nice.
Get your fall vibes out for this one. Really unleash them because we've got. Well, I guess we don't have. We had nothing to do with it because they've got.
Yeah, we aren't the creative masterminds here. We're just the mouthpieces.
It's just like how we're taking credit for the beloved dead ancestral ritual kit.
I mean, taste that title. All of those words together sound like a pretty slamming time to me.
The Beloved Dead.
Beloved Dead Ancestral Ritual Kit. That is launching today, this Wednesday, September 28th. It is available.
Was that Panama?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
And you can get this on prairiefireherbal.com. And we're going to get into what's in this kit. And I just want to clarify, they don't just one does not simply just put a kit together when you are Prairie Fire Herbal. Like there's layers of complexity and care and sourcing that I can't even begin to fathom the effort at all.
Can we talk a little bit about what comes in this kit?
Yeah, bro. Do you want to rattle off? Let's rattle off all of these goodies.
Okay, so the first thing we have a dream herb tincture.
Yeah, and that's that Kalea Zakatichichi.
Thank you for taking that one for me.
Yeah. I noticed that you skipped that part.
You see what I did there? It's for vivid lucid dreaming and is going to help you increase that dream recall.
I need that. There is also a Datura Scrying Ink.
Ritual cleansing salt with French green clay and hyssop.
Hyssop, elderberry, strawberry, hibiscus, and chocolate English breakfast tea.
Can we pause there for
I know, that sounds really nice. Have a cup of tea with your ancestors.
Can I have a breath after that?
Yeah.
Elderberry, strawberry, hibiscus, chocolate, English breakfast tea.
I'm in.
There is ancestral offerings included. There's loose incense with foraged sage, rosemary, pinyon, and fumitory.
I'm not sure. There is handmade spell paper, which that we received some of that in the Abort the Court kit, as well as some of the cleansing salt as well. But it was in a different. It was like a different variety of it. But yeah, like the paper is like super nice.
The handcrafting doesn't stop there because we've got hand-blown glass dip pen.
Dude, have you seen the videos of people writing with these glass dip pens?
So so ASMR.
I like it. I like to watch it. So then we have a...
It feels like it would feel good if somebody did it on your skin.
I know. And I just feel like it would
feel
really good to write on paper, especially some handmade spell paper. Like you're using this as a spell. Datura Jasmine, white chocolate, nightshade chocolate from Emporium Black. They make those fancy truffles. You know the ones.
You know the ones. Tiny floral embossed offering bowl from Clever Kim's Curios.
There it is. They're super nice too. I saw what they look like. They look nice. So then we have Beloved Dead Ritual Oil in Patchouli Rose.
Patchouli Rose just seems like it embodies that concept of Beloved Dead. But Patchouli Rose, it just works.
It's earthy and high vibrational at the same time.
It's loving, but with like a healthy respect to like earth and death and dead stuff.
Yeah.
And, Beloved Dead Pillar Candle and herbs for dressing, said Beloved Dead Pillar Candle. So this isn't just like a little spell kit. This is a ritual. A kit is not even kit. What's above kit? This is a satchel.
Process?
Yes.
This is a whole store. A parcel. There was the whole parcel.
Parcel.
The parcel.
Are we talking about in Bridgerton?
No.
Oh no, that was you. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, there's like a lot here, and there's instructions that lay out because if you're hearing all of this and you're like, what do I do with this? Like, what do I do with all of these? It's very well laid out, like where things came from is like, this was, especially for like the Abort the Court kit, like, and going through that, like I was able to pull it all out and be like, okay, you are this, you're for this. And it was all very, very clear. And, you can really do what you want with this. Like I broke that kit up into multiple spells because it was so much. You get so much. You really do, like a lot.
You have enough to perform not only this ritual, the Beloved Dead Ancestral Ritual, which is, connecting, and we're the veil is thinning, y'all. The air's cooling down. It's time to start talking to the dead. And that is what this is for. But outside of this, after you've performed this, you could perform it maybe a few times, depending on what you've got left over and like what you want to supply yourself. You know, if you've got like a little candle, you could probably redo this spell a couple of times.
Sure, yeah.
Or you could use these cleansing salts just throughout your cold weather casting.
Yeah. No, this says it feels like a great like seasonal setup. You know, you got the dream herb tink, and you're not going to run through all of that like in one. You're gonna have that, you know, and you can use it over and over again. Tink. Yeah. And so I mean, like, there's just all kinds of, so go and check that out. That's at prairiefireherbal.com. Like,
but wait.
Oh yeah, there's one more little snippet of
there's more
sweet info.
There's a promo code just specifically, shut up everybody, just for the beans in the month of October. So if you are hearing this in the month of October or leading up to the month of October 2022 and you are a bean, and you are because you're here, use the code all caps. Now, you ready? Jot this down in your little mental jotter. Beans22. That's BEANS 22. No spaces, all caps. And you are going to get a free, that's free with a capital F, mini tin of the Mugwort Ointment. I can't say that. You'll get a free tin of the Mugwort Ointment, which is, first of all, have you used that?
Yes, I have. Those are two words that really belong together.
I have been in love with this ointment. I've put it on little scratches, little scrapes and stuff like that, like you do with an ointment. But I've also just put it under my nose to blast off before I go to bed.
Hey,
I'm not going to lie to you.
Great. Do what you got to do. And so again, that's Beans22, all caps, no spaces, to get that sweet little mini tin of the Mugwort Ointment. And you do that by going to Prairie Fire Herbal. And when you're there, look at that beloved dead ancestral ritual kit, and also keep scrolling because there's seriously so much there. We didn't even really get into the taper candles that we could talk about for 40 years. So just
oh my God,
go look.
I fell in love with those taper candles that came out. I got 2 years ago now, I feel like. However, there's so many more. They've expanded. There's Medusa and Samhain ones.
There's so many.
And the Aquarius ones I just look at, and that color combo for the Aquarius candle looks like your kitchen to me. So that cracks me up. And it's just yeah, there's so much stuff over there. I'm particularly excited about the Lilith Ritual Anointing Oil. But you check it out. It's a good site. prairiefireherbal.com. Okay, what are we talking about today?
I'm talking to you about Opal.
Oh.
Yeah, I looked. But we didn't.
Dude, every once in a while we get one of these that I'm like, how have we skipped?
Yeah, especially since it's like a birthstone. You know, and I actually picked it on accident. I picked it not realizing that it was October's original birthstone. So I was like, that's cool. I'll take it. I mean, it's not October yet, but we're getting there.
Oh my God, we are days away. I'm itching. I'm talking to you about a stone as well called Chiastolite.
Yeah, it is.
Chiastolite.
Awesome.
Such a fucking
It's dumb. I love it. I support it.
Great.
Chiastolite.
Who's going?
That reminds me of what was that stupid ad? Asked your doctor about Astolin. That stupid, what was it, a cream? That's what it reminds me of. Astolite. It sounds like a topical medicine.
I have no memory of what you're speaking of, but I love it. It reminds me, for some reason, it brings to, I just sent you the name of it if you care to Google its look. It reminds me of a commercial. Do you ever, you got the jingles that pop into your head?
Oh, some of them are world class.
Ponchos, Mexican buffet is one that sticks with me. Now, if you're not aware of what a poncho, do you know what a ponchos is?
I
don't think they're around.
They are not. But I know this jingle because of you.
Oh, have I done this?
I don't know
already?
if you've done this before on the show, but I have known you a long time.
So You go to Poncho's. It's a buffet, but it's all Mexican style buffet. And when I say Mexican, I'm putting that in quotations. It's very American Mexican food on a buffet line. Like there's banana pudding somewhere in there for sure. And what you do is you would go to your table and you'd eat, and if you wanted more, instead of like a normal buffet, getting your ass up and going to get some, you'd raise a little, you'd raise a little flag that they put at your table, and they'd come by and you'd be like, "Can I get some more of that pudding?" And they'd get you, a little teaspoon of it, and that's how their business, I guess that was their way of maybe controlling portions. I don't know, but they had this jingle, and I'm gonna give it to you right now. You ready? It's raise the flag, are you ready for some more Poncho's Mexican buffet?
I like the ready, like the good little dig.
I was going to say, I hit that ready every time. I'm very proud of that ready. Are you ready for some more Poncho's Mexican buffet? Okay.
I'm looking at Chiastolite, which I would have not known that's how it was pronounced, and it's interesting. It kind of looks like a cutaway of like some wood, but it all for some reason has like that little Templar cross in the middle, which is pretty fucking lit.
We're gonna talk about that Templar cross. Isn't it fucking
It is
dope?
cool. This is neat.
Yeah. So I guess you know what? I'm not sure if I go first here. Let me look. I don't know, but
I think our last episode was just Anahatas, so
was Anahatas. Right. So I'm just gonna roll with it here.
Go.
If I have your blessing, but I'm kind of warmed. I'm primed up talking about that Templar cross.
Okay, hey, it's good segue.
Now, Chiastolite, and again, you would not probably think that that's how it's pronounced, because if I were to guess, it looks like Chiastolite.
That's how, like Chiastolite is what I would think.
Yeah. But the pronunciation that I came across was KY-uppercase ASS- T upside down E. I don't know what that is. And then light. So Chiastolite.
Okay.
And I've listened to a bunch of it. So don't come for me if I giggle every time I say Chiastolite. So Chiastolite, it is a brown stone. As May says, it kind of looks like, you might think it's like a hunk of wood when you saw it, just in color. Yeah. Because it will have a sheen to it, if it's been tumbled or whatever. And it's mostly like a light brown color. But there's this big fuck off cross in the middle of it. And it's not like a cross necklace where like the upper part, it looks more like the torture device of the cross. It's more like just an X, that Templar's cross, right? However, this stone is going to carry a lot of significance for Christians throughout history. We'll get into that. But that cross, it's made because, so like within, and I don't know half of these, what I'm about to say, but within these crystals, there's an impurity. And then the impurity in the way that it's made of, what is it here? It's black. Oh, it's graphite and carbon.
Okay.
Sorry, I knew it was something simple. Yeah, so it's graphite and carbon, one of the two things that I feel familiar pronouncing and talking about, because those are not pencils. So
it's full of pencil lead. Okay.
Yeah, full of pencil lead. If you cracked it open, you could write a whole, a whole book. Wow. But they start off as just a small little irritation in the stone, if you will, and then they grow in this pattern. They call them arms. Radiating arms.
Okay.
And it's just a growth pattern. I'm sure I could go into it, and somebody who understands would be like, oh, that's cool. Listen, I know rocks, but I'm not. Just basically understand that it grows in these little arm formations. Understand. Can we talk about understand for a minute? Because I feel like we're not going to stop saying it.
No, I'll do it. Did I do that from my sleep? Is it that ingrained? I don't know what you witnessed, but I know I said it multiple times. And at one point I feel like I came from the sleep grave to say understand before slipping back in, but I don't remember anymore.
Okay. Tell them about understand. And then I will tell you what
so we were watching Ghost I almost said Ghost Antagonizers. I can't keep it straight anymore. We were watching Ghost Adventures, and we might have talked about. Listen, we're coming back alive, and so I was dozing. I mean, you had driven this day like so long, and we were in fucking Memphis, Tennessee, and Ghost Adventures was on, and I was dozing hard. We had already reenacted how that guy comes, and yes. I was dozing because I felt like I had done a job well done with that. And
and we were full of Freddy's burgers. Dude. You had put on an enthusiastic reenactment of how that goes.
I was nice and tuckered. And so I was all cozied up, and Ghost Adventures was on seemingly for eternity. I put it on the moment we got to that room at fucking 6 p.m. And this was at like 10:30.
Nothing else came on the
Nothing
TV.
Once.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like I remember being so barely awake and then hearing him say understand, and I had to almost prop up and go, understand, and out of nowhere, but I don't remember.
Cause in the credits, not the credits, the opening, the title, what is that called? Why am I blanking on what that's called? The thing that comes up, the intro, thank you. They give you this little cheesy monologue, and he's like, there are things in life that we don't understand. And for some reason, that one word once. They don't do it the entirety of the fucking rest of the opener, but there's this like little gremlin voice in the background that.
But I love so much that it's still his voice. You can tell it's his voice that they fucked with.
It's just pitched
Dude,
down.
It gives me joy.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and you are beginning to become unresponsive, and at this point I had stopped I had stopped sharing the episode with you. You know what I mean? Like I was just watching.
You were done interacting.
You were out.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you were about to be a part of the bed, and the intro comes on. It's a new episode. I'm sitting there. I'm barely fucking paying attention. I think I might have been looking at my phone, also. And you just sit up and I didn't know what was happening because I wasn't registering that the intro was on. And you just sit up and just go, understand. And then start giggling. And it took me about 2 seconds to realize what was going on. But those were the most confusing 2 seconds of my life before I put it together.
Okay.
But then I feel like we did go back and forth a couple of times, just going,
you have to. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Pay attention next time you're watching, because we know everyone listening. You're having a marathon.
I feel like so many people listening. I'm just going to assume y'all do it too, because you can't not. If you once you hear it, I just feel like every time you just have, no matter where you are in your house, no matter what you're doing, I don't even care if you're on a fucking work call. You have to just understand, even if it's quiet. If you hear it, you have to
understand. How creepy would it be to be on a work call with somebody and you don't know who it's coming from, but you just hear.
I would know, though. I would be like, I know.
You'd be like,
I know what you're doing.
Yes. All right. Chiastolite. Wow. So, wow. It's the woody color. Woody. Ass and woody. This is a great stone. I love it. Okay, so it's this woody color with this black cross in the middle. And I love that one of the websites I was looking at for information, they refused to call it a cross. They just kept calling it the T.
It's not, though.
Yeah, it made me laugh so hard because everything they were just like, this T in the middle is.
That's not the same proportions.
Call it an X. If anything,
plus sign.
Call it an X. Yeah. But no, they really went out of their way to not Christianize, I guess, this stone. And that's something that we have to talk about, because do you know who loves Chiastolite? Do you know who loves this stone? The fucking Puritans love.
Do they really?
This stone. They were so hard.
Because I don't feel like they got hard for that many things, but if they did, they were hard.
Listen. They got hard for anything with a cross.
That's true, especially in nature.
Oh, proof of Jesus right there. And it got to where in I believe the colonies, these Puritans are, I don't know, fucking around doing awful shit. They'd find these stones and jerk off all over them, but then they sent them back to like the Queen. They sent them back. I don't know, to be like, look, proof of God over here in the New World. I don't really know the thought process. I guess they just sent shit back, to show their findings.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like immediate. As soon as Big Mama Queen or King or whoever it was at the time, I'm not really sure. I just hate the Puritans so much that I kind of disconnect whenever I read about them. Anyway, they sent it over and it was a hit immediately. They were in love. This is now an international hit. And a hit with royalty, nonetheless, because, they got their hands on it first. So, of course, it becomes this status symbol, which I think is funny when something is supposed to be Christian in nature, but it's also like
it's like an symbol, elite thing. Yeah, it's a little bit like, what? But I also like it too. It's interesting.
It's like Jesus.
This isn't like an on the nose fucking glittery ass emerald or something like that. It's like a dull chip of wood, Yeah. Even shined up pretty well. This is a stone that isn't particularly. It wouldn't be glamorous. That's not the word I would use.
It's the only thing about it is that cross, and I guess they're willing to overlook anything for that cross or that T, I guess. And so it was a little bit of a status symbol. There's also evidence that Christians would use the stone. They would take it with them on pilgrimage walks. Because they would find them along certain trails that led to, certain holy sites. That'd be pretty
cool. That would be cool to find that. Like, if you put yourself in that situation and you're on this, like, holy pilgrimage and you find that along the way, I'd be like, whoa. Like, I would be like, holy shit, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I am on a real religious journey. Yeah. Just fucking, your little Puritan head just spirals
It'd be pretty wild. I would just be like, all right. I'm seriously so plugged in right now. And also, how much did a pilgrimage have to suck? Like, finding that would be like, oh, thank fuck. At least this is like maybe what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. I'm not wasting
maybe my life
20 years on this earth that I'm allotted. Yeah. But believe it or not, this stone goes back farther than the Pilgrims or the Pilgrims. The Puritans. And since we've always been drawn to a cool looking pattern, or like a really bright stone. So it's not surprising when you hear about like these really old stones getting used for certain things. This was used before the time of Christ to ward off evil. And it was also used in connection to spirit, to the dead. And instead of having a religious, it still had a little bit of a religious, a spiritual, I'll say, connection. Because while it wasn't like the Christian cross that these like ancient people were looking at, it was the four elements. It kind of came to represent. So it was a little bit of a pagan symbol as well. And protection vibes, I guess. Big time protection vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I could kind of into like the uncrossing type of, or like that cross of protection. The cross is a symbol for protection all over.
Right.
It's just like crossing your arms and being like, back off. It's the same energy, when you cross your arms in front of you.
That's the energy I get.
Yeah.
When I see like a cross or like an X or anything like that is kind of like a warding, like a don't come here. You're not really welcome here. And that's what it was used for. It was kind of to keep things at bay, keep the wolves away. Wow. That crosses over into its modern day metaphysical uses. So there are, this is, modern day Christians really like this stone, regardless of if they are part of, I had an itchy nose and I forgot it was one thing, Sally, so I paused to scratch and then I panicked. Regardless of if you would consider yourself like a Christian witch or even kind of into the spiritual side of life while still being a Christian, you know what I mean. They like this stone. This is you're gonna find this stone sometimes within Christian like jewelry. What's that store? Maynard's. What's that store? It's like the Christian bookstore.
I don't know the name, but I know the one you're talking about because there's yeah.
You know
I know
what I'm talking about. Yeah, I feel like you could walk into there, and it always smells like printer paper and coffee.
Which is I love. Hey, I love a
nice
bookstore smell. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Don't listen. I don't care. But I also feel like it's got a twinge of hate.
Oh yeah, you walk in and you're like, is this judging me from the inside out?
Yeah. You're like, they know. But I do feel like if you stepped in there, you might find like a necklace, with one of these on it or something. It's not a particularly pretty stone, but again, people are hard for the cross. So anything with that on it, it will be found in a religious symbolism such as that. People like to use it during meditations or during prayers, regardless of, I guess, faith. It just has that holy significance, like that feeling of holy significance to it. Whether or not you identify, regardless of how you identify to the cross in the middle is what I'm trying to say. There is this sort of sanctimonious, is that the word maybe I'm looking for there? It's important. Like you approach the stone with reverence, and it's to do religious shit with, you can pray, you can connect to ancestors. It reminds me a little bit of what was the stone that was always connected to like Mother Mary? Was it sodalite or lapis?
Probably lapis.
I think it's lapis.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of that in that way, just that kind of, there's a certain way you approach this stone. And then the things it does for you is, I think sometimes, okay, I know this is a one take Sally, so I'm explaining myself here because normally I would just try to get it out. But sometimes I feel like I talk like a pilot on an airplane, like that stereotypical.
Okay.
Like they're talking about something, and then they do that. And
we are looking.
They're kind of
300 more miles northeast with tailwinds behind us. Yep, they do
That's
that.
It.
Yeah,
it's the thinking noise. Yeah, I've got like a white static or a white noise thinking noise. So I'm gonna try to watch that. But it's the things that this stone will do for you carry a similar weight. So death is big with this stone. If you have somebody who you are like recently grieving, or perhaps they have not even passed yet, perhaps they are in the process of crossing over, this is a stone that will provide a little bit of comfort if that's what you're looking for. It can provide the feeling of emotional fortitude to you. This is a fortification stone, if you might. It's going to help you shore up those resolves. It's also going to help you process large emotions, particularly when those large emotions are resulting from change. Now, obviously, death is one of the biggest changes, whether or not it's happening to us or just someone in our lives. It's a big change when somebody goes. However, that's not the only change that this stone will help you with. The other big ones, I always think that list, the like top 10 most stressful parts of life. And it's always like changing jobs, new house, the beginning or ending of a marriage, stuff like that. So those big lifetime changes, the fear and the uncertainty that come with those. This is a stone that will help you during that time. Now, whether or not you're applying some kind of religious symbolism to it, whether that be like a Christian Christ cross or a 4-element pagan type thing, or even if it's just like the warding, like the keeping away of, because A lot of people believe, myself included, because I know I'm particularly susceptible to things in moments like this. But when I am really preoccupied with something and it's really chewing on my brain and I'm worried and I don't feel well about it and I'm scared, like that's when the little nasties like to creep in and feed on that energy. Or perhaps that's when they like to worm in and they attach to you a little bit, you know? So this can help kind of be your warding, your crossed arms, you know, the body language of like, no, not now. This person, they're not here to play with you. Please leave. Stone. Can we just call Chiastolite
the please leave stone? It's the equivalent of pointing your besom at someone directly when you want them to fucking get out of your house.
Yeah. I love the idea of like there being like little disses, but only in the witch world. You know, like only witches understand this diss. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like in a room full of witches, if like you're hosting a gathering, someone comes out and they're like holding their broom and they make eye contact with you and they flip it upside down. No one else is going to know what that means, but a room full of witches is going to be like,
oh, shit. Yeah.
I can't believe she had the balls to do that. All right. So, excuse me. If we are in a place,
I almost made the same comment. That we had that front come through, and my allergies are bad, and I've had to keep clearing my throat. And then I remember after I do it, like, oh, this is just gonna live here. And so I've been like, I just like earlier crawled out of my chair a little bit when you were talking and cleared my throat about 4 steps away in a crouch.
It is times like this that I wish that our cameras were on.
I know.
If I would have seen you slip out of the chair.
I was like that kid, you know that meme when he's clenching real hard and it's like his face? Yes. That's what I felt like. Because it was just sitting there and it was like, I've got to clear my throat. Oh my God.
I can't. When you need to clear your throat, it's an all-encompassing thought. Like it takes your brain over.
It's terrible because I tried, like you were talking, and I tried to like give a and nothing came out. No sound came out. It was just like, I was like, shit.
Ew. Dude, are you ever in a room full of people and somebody coughs and it gives you the urge to cough? Even if you don't need to cough, they'll hit you with like a little and then suddenly that's all you can think about. You're like, I have to do it. I have to do it
no.
too. No? Dude, I would go to church as a kid or like other times when you're supposed to be being quiet, you know, like, or it was in the moment of silence. Did they still do moment of silence at school?
I don't know. We did.
We did. It would be during the minute of silence in the morning where like somebody would clear their throat and then I would be like, fuck. I think it was just that I knew I was supposed to be quiet and my body was rejecting.
I think that was just the little edgelord inside you.
Yeah. Dude, sometimes I wonder what it would be like if I went back with the balls that I have now.
Oh, I know.
But like back
Dude,
then,
I know.
It would be such an
I would essentially be like Farouja Balk in The Craft. That would be who I would be.
Oh.
That would be me. Just not having it with any of you motherfuckers.
Oh, wow. If only we knew then what we know now. You know, and in 20 years, what will we look back at us now and say, if only we knew then what we know now? Huh. It's the circle of life. So, Chiastolite, Chiastolite,
chia seeds.
Chia. Did you ever have a chia pet?
I sure did. I had a few.
What was it?
I had the rabbit. It was a little rabbit. And then I think Rustin had Homer Simpson.
I was going to say, I knew there was a Homer somewhere.
Yeah, I think that was Rustin's.
For some reason, I remember the Homer Simpson. Because I had the panda, or like the bear. And he had his little green, like glazed face. You know, there was like sometimes they had like a little ceramic glaze on him. And I remember I was jealous. I wanted one of the funny ones. I wanted like the Bob Ross or the Homer
See, I
Simpson,
liked the animal ones. I liked the little,
yeah.
which, you know what? Those were kind of fun. Like, and I didn't realize that until way too long that those were literally just chia seeds. Like, it's literally just chia seeds.
Just chia seeds.
It was
like you.
I'd been eating them for years and was like, these are the same. Like, it didn't even compute.
You can, yeah, dude, you can make a chia pet out of anything. There's a lady on TikTok that made one out of her toilet.
Okay.
She just covered her toilet in like a paste and then covered it in chia seeds. And that was all good fun, but then she like used the toilet and I'm not about it.
I just gotta I just gotta fill this in for you. This is not related to anything, but it kind of is because we did mention it earlier, but this is just something that I understand. But you know, like your phone, you'll just get like a random, it'll buzz for like somebody just posted in a group somewhere, you know, and it's just Facebook like being like, interact with me, come on. And it just went off and it opened. So it's just like, it opened up. And it just, it's basically, I'm just going to read, I'll not say the name, but Googling Bridgerton guy who comes weird didn't work. Can someone help me find the scene? I don't want to watch the show. I feel that so hard. I feel it so good. I get you. But I just needed to share that.
I would love to take a peek at that search history.
Oh, yeah.
I just imagine like, you know.
Well, and my question, how did it not show up?
And
like,
my question is, how are more people?
That's what I mean. How did that not yield the result that should have happened?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, they really make it a plot point.
I mean,
the way he comes
is like the whole problem. Yeah, that's like like the whole rub, you know?
Huh. I don't like these words.
Anyway, is it my turn?
I'm going to wrap up with.
Are you done?
I'm gonna wrap up. I got a few more things here. Chiastolite. Yeah. So if you are going through those times of transition and you need to protect yourself, ward off any kind of bad dudes, that you can do that with Chiastolite. It's connected to the root chakra. And I imagine that's because anytime I see an X, it just looks like a little butthole to me. So, you know, maybe it's you put your little butthole on the ground, connect with that root chakra.
Put that taint down there.
I really put that taint, rock up a little bit and put the taint on the ground. Wiggle. I couldn't really find much as to why it's really associated with the root chakra. I like to know why. You know, I guess maybe it's just brown.
If I were to look at it and be like, I would put it there. Yeah.
I put it there. I mean, it is a brown circle with a little X on it. So I feel like it's, you know, it's pretty basic and fine, if you know what I'm saying. Yes. And then also,
are you saying that it looks like a butthole?
Go back.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's put a really fine point on it. I wanted to wrap up with something that I saw that I just thought was funny. And this is from spiritofisis.org. It's got details about the crystal and stuff like that. And it gets to the point. It says, formations, prismatic crystals with a square cross-section terminated by a pinacoid, massive and granular.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Chiastolite.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We're here with another ad for you, another sponsor of the episode, another return sponsor of the episode. We're talking about Crane and Moon Tarot, and buckle up because we got our minds blown with more tarot readings.
So if you're not familiar, Crane and Moon Tarot does curated readings with the tarot. And they offer all different kinds of, what's the word? Bespoke, tailored readings just for you. So it's not just, it's not only you're getting a spread, but you're getting something very dialed into you. And as a courtesy, she read me and Macy's cards. And Macy and I have not spoken to each other about this yet.
No.
And I think we need to dive into that at some point. But Anyway, Mace, let's talk about Crane and Moon. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself.
I know. It was just really a good tarot reading. And every reading, every time we've had the privilege to sit down with Crane and Moon Tarot. I think this was the third time. And every single time is just like a breath of just fresh air and clarity. But this time I was like particularly amped. Like I was like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Super, super plugged in. Sarah is very plugged in.
And I did something that I don't usually do. I had a focus this time. Usually when people read for me, I say, hey, whatever you pick up on from spirit, if my ancestor team or whatever wants to talk to yours and you're getting that message, but this time I went in with a specific focus, and I don't do that all the time. And the way that it was so, it was so dialed in and so different from just like a general reading really knocked my socks off. And again, it just speaks to, like you said, how plugged in she is.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I really like too is that there's just such an assurance there, like, especially with that connection. Like I think we had gone through 3 cards and, there was still some time left. And Sarah was like, all right, what else? Is there anything you want to go further into? Like, do you want to draw a clarifier? And so it was just like, really, let's dig in here. Like, we're getting this message. Let's chase it down even further. And it wasn't like, okay, all right, oh, good. That was good. All right, then we're just going to call it. It was like, you know what? Let's keep going. Let's see what else is in here. And I loved that. And so we went deeper with 2 clarifying cards, like going into really things that were very, very important to plans that I'm putting in place, but things that I had not considered. But like now, once they were like laying in that perspective, which I had been considering, I was like, oh, of course. It was just everything came together. And just like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I had a similar situation where the cards that she read for me were, it was almost comically, like aligned to when I do readings for myself or when I do any kind of divination for myself. And I just saw the marks of my spirit team in her reading. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I knew that they were there, and I knew that she was like getting those messages from them, particularly from them. And the way that she creates space for that is so beautiful too. You start with a little bit of a not a prayer. What would you say?
It's just like almost like a little opening ritual, a little opening ceremony. Yeah. She lights a candle, and just it's really loving. I love it every single time. Like I'll just sit there and just shut my eyes and just. And this time there was a really lovely incantation that she used. It was just wonderful. I look forward to that. And it was one of the first things I said to her when we sat down. I was like, dude, it's like I'm visiting with a friend. Like, I'm so excited to see you again.
Yeah. I was, and that's something I want to speak to as well, is I have in the past received readings that I can be a little, I don't know, maybe a little intimidated, or sometimes doing things over Zoom can be, I don't know, for lack of a better term, it can be a little awkward,
Yeah, it might feel a little clinical.
Yeah, or you're talking over each other, or it just whatever. But she has such a warm presence about her, mm-hmm. That is truthfully one of the most inviting, just auras, I guess.
Yeah.
And then again, how she creates that space, it's just really comfortable. And if it's something that you are thinking about doing, so she does those Zoom readings, but she also does written readings as well. So you can tailor it in depending on how you want to do it. And like I said, I went in with a focus this time for my reading, and it was a little bit on the personal side, which again is hard for me to do. I don't typically do that with outside readers. You know what I mean? Even if it's someone I'm like Macy, you know what I mean? I don't know if I would ask a super dialed in, like romantic question or, something along those lines. Right. Because I feel very personal. I feel personal about that kind of stuff, but I felt really open and like ready to do that. And the way that it came through was there was no, how do I say this? There was no like judgment or weird feeling or anything about it at all. Yeah.
No. ever. And like that was one of the first things I mentioned, because I generally, and like I have very practical requests every time, or questions, kind of anytime that I do tarot. And that was like one of the first things I said. I was like, listen, I'm sorry I always have these like Capricorny requests for you, like every time that we do this, but like I've got another one for you. So here we go. But he was like, there was no judgment. It was like nothing. It was just like, hey, cool, let's do it. You know, it was just like, I just really appreciate the attitude, and nothing feels foolish ever.
That's what I was going for, is nothing feels silly, you know, because sometimes I think that you can come at tarot with your very deep, insightful questions, and you can be ready to like really receive guidance. And sometimes it's a little bit of like a "do they like me back" situation. And I've asked her both of these questions, and in both times I've received greatly, and I've taken a lot of guidance from them, and I've thought a lot about them. And she sends a picture of the spread, so you can really dive into it and have that as a reminder. I pulled out a couple of the cards that she pulled, or at least the archetypes of the cards that she pulled, you know, and I have those sort of there on my altar to kind of be a reminder. And it's a good daily practice, or it's a good hygiene practice, I think, to have someone read for you every once in a while.
I think so. Just because you're going to be thinking about something, even if you want to take a skeptical approach and be like, well, sure, they're just cards. And it's like, yeah, sure. Okay. Even if we want to say they're just cards, those cards in that order are going to make you process a situation, perhaps in a way you hadn't already, which is useful, you know? So, I mean, it's like there's layers upon layers of usefulness in doing it. But if you do really believe in tarot, or even if you're skeptical, I do recommend working with a reader that does have a good relationship with it, because that can be really enlightening, you know, to see, because sometimes you really just have to see it to believe it. And I was that way. And I still sometimes am when it comes to cards. But like, man, when you meet readers that like truly you are just on it, it really deepens everything around it, and it's a really beautiful thing you can fold in.
And I love that you say that, because there's actually an FAQ on her FAQ page that's like, I'm not sure if I believe. And she kind of goes into like, it's totally okay to not believe, and you can still get your guidance out of this, and it can be a tool of storytelling and stuff like that. So if you're somebody who's maybe wanting to look into it, this again is a space where there's no judgment. You know, nobody's going to look at you and be like, well, you have to believe for it to work. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of thing, which is really nice.
Yeah. And so if you're interested in this, give a look at craneandmoontarot.com. You can book your readings there. And there's like a serious, ginormous, serious discount of 20%. And so when you go to book, just mention that, like just write them. It's just like seems the coupon setup it's not like that. It's not to where there's a code. Just message them and be like, listen, I'm Wabine. Here it is, 20%, heard the ad. That will sync it all up together. And that's 20% off a reading, or like a service. That's a lot. 20% such a big discount.
Yeah. She also has an Instagram, Crane and Moon Tarot, where she shares some spreads that, you know, just from time to time. It's fun. It's good to do a little spread of your own.
Alrighty, guys. So give it a look. craneandmoontarot.com. It's also Crane and Moon Tarot on Instagram. Take a look at that 20% off those readings. And thank you, Crane and Moon Tarot. And thank you guys for supporting a supporter of the show. All right, here we go. All right, let's talk about Opal. I love Opal. I love Opal a lot. I have a very firm memory with Opal, and it involves me and a public pool. And it's actually a very, very it's a nothing story, really. But my mom has this lovely little pair of and they're just like little studs, little opal studs. They're kind of shaped like a teardrop, and they're just like little cute little white opal studs. She's had them my whole life. And liked to wear my mom's jewelry. Like she had this really like nice little jewelry cabinet when I was a little kid. And like at this time I was like, I don't know, like 6. I was little. And I would just like to wear her necklaces for a day because they were always really pretty. They were 80s jewelry. So it was loud. It was glitzy. You know, it was fun.
Bauble.
Yeah. And so I had these earrings in. My ears were pierced then, and they still are, but they were pierced at this time. And so we went to I don't know why we went to the public pool. I guess it was a birthday party because we had one. But so anyway, we went to the city pool, which was lit because that fucker was deep. And that was pretty cool. Because I remember like jumping off like the diving board and just doing like the straight down jump and not even like reaching the bottom.
The pencil.
Yeah. And I wouldn't hardly touch it. Like I would, but like not like in, you know, because our pool was like 10 feet deep and it was, you know, enough. But like this, I would just feel like I would never reach the bottom. So that was pretty cool. But I remember, and I don't know why I just suffered through this instead of just like going to an adult who was obviously with us and be like, can you hold these for me? But I remembered when I was there that I still had those earrings in. And I just was filled with the terror that they were going to come out of my ears when I was swimming in this pool. And so instead of like taking them out and dealing with that and like taking them to, we were never just like left alone. Like I know that there was someone there and being like, can you hold these for me? It was like, I just didn't want to admit it, I guess. And I remember jumping up, like basically I would jump off the board because I couldn't resist it because I was a kid and it was too much fun. And the moment I would resurface, I would just like frantically grab both earlobes and be like, okay, they're still there. And I remember doing that the whole time I was at the pool that day. It was a terrible experience.
Such a nervous
I was,
child,
dude,
man.
serious as the plague, man. And so anyway, let's talk about Opal. Opal is interesting because Opal is not what I thought it was in regards to like being a material. So to put it in words that I didn't write, but I'm going to give to you from a different place because they know what they're talking about. This was from mindat.org and also like a bunch. Like, you know how you just have sites that just have the same snippet all over. So here we go.
Yeah.
Opal is hydrated silicon dioxide.
I'm glad. Good for it for being.
It is. It's very. So that's like the whole point. We're going to get into super hydrated. So submicroscopic silica spheres bonded together with water and additional silica, sometimes containing the minerals cristobalite and tridymite. I don't know what either of those are.
Those are fake words. Billy crystallite, would you say?
It is amorphous, meaning it has no crystalline structure and no definite chemical composition, and is therefore considered to be a mineraloid rather than a mineral. Mineraloid.
Okay. Come on, science.
Because like the other one was like the pigeons had like magnetotron powers or something that was really fun, which is weird because there's like a lot of connections between the pigeon and Opal. I noticed that when taking these notes, like a surprising amount of connections between pigeons and Opal. Weird.
It was. Science. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on it. It's just so all.
I know. You either get a completely non-pronounceable word or you get mineraloid. Nothing in between.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a dirt rock.
So over time, this like gelatinous mix of materials, it seeps into fractures and veins between the layers of underground sedimentary rocks, and it solidifies, right? And it turns into opal, formed when a lot of the water evaporates. So it contains a good bit of water even after solidifying, ranging from 3 to 21% like water by weight, but usually between 6 and 10%. So there's like water in there, and like a decent amount of it.
So could you eat it if you were dying? You'll get the asbestos.
Well, I just think your body wouldn't break it down. And the tiny bit of water you'd get would probably be moot from how much work your body put through to try to break it down.
And when they do your autopsy, they just find they're like, he just swallowed a bunch of fucking stones before he died.
He could have probably just
This is
sold
what killed
these
him.
and bought some water. So
yeah, it's not like he was in the desert. He was just like in a gas station bathroom.
So I wanted to look into mineraloids. Those because what is this word? And so there's some examples, and it made sense when I looked into what that means. So one example is jet, which is derived from decaying wood under extreme pressure. Also pearls. Pearls are considered a mineraloid because, like there's calcite in there, and there's also bonded by organic material. It's basically the clam's mouth skin over and over.
Gross.
And there's no definite proportion of the components. It just kind of happens. So in the same mineraloid family, you have amber. It's another example of that. It's a tree sap, and it's not really a set thing. It's just the solidified tree sap.
This is what we come across when we are doing a topic and we're like stone, but then we pause and we're like, well, it's not a stone. So we have a word for
that. Mineraloid. Yeah. I also saw another example of this is moldavite. Moldavite is also a mineraloid.
Shit.
Yeah. So opal can occur in just about most kinds of rock. But however, it likes sandstone, it likes basalt, it likes limonite. So it has some favorites, but generally it shows up all over the place. And what's neat about opal is that it shows up all over the place in a bunch of different ways. It can look very different. And so the name opal has long thought to have come from the Latin word opalus, which means precious stone. And the Greek word opalios, meaning to see a change in color. But these words actually have roots of their own in Sanskrit from the word upala. And this dates back to 250 BC, at which point this opal was the most valuable gemstone in the world. It was man. It was everywhere. So opal has been found or it has been dated in use with human finds of opal to 10,000 years ago in North America. And I've got some Pliny the Elder for you. So Pliny the Elder is back, and he said, "In the opal you shall see the burning fire of the carbuncle," which garnet is believed this means garnet.
I'm
Carbuncle.
sorry.
Yeah.
I need a break. I feel like I remember this.
Carbuncle.
But Jesus Christ, thank you for that present. Okay.
Or ruby, the glorious purple of amethyst, the green sea of the emerald, and all the glittering together mixed after an incredible manner. Some opals carry such resplendent luster with them that they are able to match the bravest and richest colors of painters. Others represent the flaming fire of brimstone, yea, and the bright blaze of burning oil. So, big fan. Yeah,
wow.
Big fan. High praise.
He
really into it.
Also, you can use all the fancy words you want, but we can't unhear carbuncle, sir. Sorry.
So the fact that opal is located all around the world means that it found its way into various cultures around the world, generally in a significant way, or in a high regard. So in North America, 6,000-ish years ago, the Aztecs discovered fire opal, which is so cool looking. And their name for it in Nahuatl is Quetzalitzlipiallitlai. It's a really, it's such an interesting looking word. But I found some pronunciations for it. But yeah, I had to break it, but it's fun. It's very, I don't know. It's just such a texture. Very textured language. It's really beautiful. So that translates to the stone of the bird of paradise. It was highly revered by the Aztecs as well as the Maya, and was often used in their really, really beautiful mosaic work that they would do. Just really, really, really beautiful work. So the Romans delighted. They loved opal. They were all about opal. They thought it was great. The Greeks liked it. So I feel like the Romans were like, hey, we do too. And
us too.
It was a sign of wealth and status. Their opals came from mines in Eastern Europe. It was kind of outside of their borders, it seemed. In ancient India and Persia, fire opal was a symbol of love. It was very passionate.
Goddamn right it was.
So in ancient Greece, the stone was seen as a talisman that protected against disease and sickness. And so there's just all kinds of different ways that opal was just generally regarded upon discovery in these ancient civilizations, which makes sense. I mean, it's a really spectacular thing to look at, especially if you just pull it out of the earth. It looks like it looks like magic stored in like a crystal ball. It looks like a magical item.
Yeah, if I was like a settler and I found that, I would immediately lose my.
Yeah, I mean, like you think, like if you're talking video game rules, like that's when you find something like that, that means like something's either going to happen or like
you're on quest.
you know.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. It opal, and sometimes like I was looking at pictures, and I've even seen like really like pretty pieces just like in stores and whatnot. It looks fake. It looks so colorful and like almost funfetti cake mixy that you're like, this isn't real.
It's the same vibe as the was it Aura quartz or
yeah, and it's like it's the same thing where it's just like this looks like somebody made this like out of plastic. This doesn't look like a material. You know, it's very, very interesting. So it was also ties to purity and hope, things like that, which we'll get into in a little bit in the metaphysical properties. So William Shakespeare dubbed opal as a miracle and coined the term Queen of Gems. Queen of Gems.
Sorry.
From the play The Twelfth Night. So yeah, a miracle. And
nerd.
So Napoleon offered reported. So
Another
there was
nerd.
a very famous opal, allegedly. So this is kind of a mysterious opal in history, but it was it's supposedly 700 carat opal. It was known as the burning of Troy because of these vibrant red flashes that it had, and we don't know much about it because it disappeared. It seems after she died. There's no photograph. There's no like artist depictions of it. But I was just like trying to find it because it was like 700 carats. But there is enough historical documentation to where it does seem like it was real, but nobody knows what it looked like, which is interesting because I was like, how big is 700 carats of opal? Like,
I was just thinking that. How big is 700 carats? I'm gonna just Google 700 carats and see.
I think you'll get a picture of a lot of carats. Oh, you got to spell it right.
Yeah.
So there are, though, with all of the high regard, there is a lot of negative superstition tied to opal as well, such as bad luck or bringing misfortune and things like that. And there's some interesting reasons for it, some being kind of pragmatic and some just being situational. But for one, so opals can dry out. They require some care, especially if they're in a non-humid environment, if they're in a dry environment, because the stones can go dull and even crack in extreme cases. This is called crazing, which is awesome. And crazing, yes. And so before this was understood, it was kind of when an opal would turn color and crack, it was seen as like an omen of bad things to come. It was just kind of a strange thing to see a stone transform in such a way. And I even saw that this was kind of an interesting thing. I don't know the validity of this, but healers, like maybe perhaps like some crooked healers would be really aware of this, and especially in moments. And now this is where I'm not certain because I did see generally for an opal to change, it needs like a high temperature, but like placing it on like a highly fevered body. could maybe cause the water to evaporate a little bit, and it would cause the stone to change a bit. And they would know this and be like, see, look, disease. But I don't
Swindlers are going to find a way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Flim Flammer's going to flim flam. And it was just very interesting. I don't know exactly, but you do hear stories of opals used in history that were kind of shown to reveal sickness by changing color. And it really just seems like it was just part of the drying and crazing process that happens because it's got a lot of water in it.
I also looked it up, and it looks like a 700 carat opal is about fist.
See, that's what I was wondering, which is big, but not as big as I would think, you know?
Well, also, if you just Google 700 carats, the like metric calculator thing kicks in, and it's like 0.3 pounds. It's like pretty small.
Wow.
I just heard 700 carats, and I was like, "That's
it should be." Yeah, I feel like it should be.
Yeah.
So, in Russia, particularly during times of Catherine the Great, opal was not super what you wanted. It symbolized bad luck or a harbinger of misfortune coming. It just kind of
what? It's so pretty.
I know, and They really, opal fell out of favor for a good long while due to superstitions like this, until it seems that Queen Victoria said, fuck all that. And
she just come out
and started really wearing opal again and being a trendsetter. It seemed that opal quickly came back into favor.
Okay. So you have someone who's wearing something that is out of favor and said to be like bad luck, death, bad things. Does that make her like the goth of her time?
I mean,
to like come out dripping in this thing?
It was Queen Victoria. I mean, she's pretty goth as hell. Like if I'm not totally fucking history up, isn't she the one who kind of did the whole Victorian era is hers?
I think she invented goth.
I mean, really.
The architectural style and everything. But it's just funny to me to think that, like, you know, you think of goth now and it's like, it's just immediately like images of like Robert Smith and Susie Sue. And then like back then it's like just these brilliantly colored like Edward skin.
Yeah. Fluffy bakery cake shit. It's interesting though.
And you're like, oh, they love death.
They did love death.
How shiny they are.
And so opal today is generally pretty well loved. It's hard to not love an opal, and its wide array of colors make it suitable for a lot of different palettes. It's really hard to not be mesmerized by a really nice opal. And it makes me think of like the cat collar in Men in Black, how like the whole universe is on Orion's belt, you know, and how that collar looks. That's always kind of how opal makes me feel.
Heard cat collar.
Ew, gross.
Like, ooh, baby, look at you. Yeah.
It makes me think of those people.
It makes me think of cat collars. No, I understand what you mean. Yeah, it just kind of gives you this like, this isn't real. We're inside.
Yeah, it's like this is what the fabric of the collective unconsciousness looks like. Is opal. It's just very interesting to me.
Pretty.
And so it is a birthstone for October. It was there first, but then seemingly for
October gets all the best shit.
I know, because then they added tourmaline when they wanted more transparent stones. So you got opal or tourmaline, but I've always been jealous of October. Oh, I didn't know what month it was. I was just always jealous of whoever got opal because I've always loved opal. So
fucking
this is
Scorpios?
Libra.
No. Oh, fucking
yeah. Yeah, they get opal. So this is another direct chunk here, but I just thought that this explained it better than I could. This was from Gemporia.com. So this explains how the colors happen. Like what is happening to make them throw these colors around. So their unique internal colors are one of the most fascinating visual effects created by nature, a phenomenon referred to as play of color, which I really like. I think that's really nice. So opals are doubly attractive as they often have a beautiful iridescence known as opalescence. The incredible play of color witnessed in gem quality opals is caused by the refraction of light. The body of each opal is made up of tightly packed silicon balls with moisture and solidified acids trapped in the gaps between them. Light enters the gem, bounces off the curved surfaces of the silica, and is emitted back out of the gem. Depending on the size of the silicone balls, different colors will be refracted. For example, silicon, I got so many balls coming at you, bro. Silicon balls, 0.2 microns wide, will refract blue light. Silicon balls that are 0.25 microns wide will refract green light. And silicon balls that are 0.32 microns wide will refract red light. So that's how you get all the different colors in one, so that's kind of basically light is going in there and then bouncing all around the balls and the acids and I don't know, the moisture all inside, and you get that. So
the wetness. Yeah.
So opals do contain, as I said earlier, a good amount of moisture, between 3 and 20%. Generally, precious ones are I think it's like 5 to 10%, 3 to 10% for your precious, like gem quality opals. It is considered a soft stone, measuring 5.5 to 6.5 on the Mohs scale. So common opal. So there's a difference here. So there's precious opal and common opal. Precious opal is the opal with the really pretty opalescence in it. Common opal it doesn't. It's not your gem quality.
It's not stage.
Yeah, and so you have common opal found all over the world. Gem quality opals a little more picky in their location. So right now, Australia is kicking ass with the gem quality opals. Seemingly, like 97% of the world's gem quality opals are sourced from there. However, there was a recent discovery of gem quality precious opals in Ethiopia, and that's starting to really come from there as well.
They're gonna kick Australia's
They're coming
ass.
for you, Australia. Your background base can be a different color. So often, you'll see white opal a lot, but there can be different colors there. There is black opal, which is quite rare. There's kind of a grayish in between background. You can have blue, green, pink, red, just about any color. And some are more opaque than others. So you can really get a lot with that. And with that, of course, you have color magic. So if you have an opal that, it will have the properties of opal, but if it is like a blue opal, or, you can have the properties of blue that go into that and just kind of add that extra layer of depth to the properties of the opal that you have. So there are, here we go. We'll get that. The precious and the common. So opals are in a class by themselves. So they're very unique, just kind of as a species of stone. And more than any other, really, they're all very individual. There is no opal like any other one. And they're very delicate. They require special care. So they're just a kind of their own thing. Just kind of when it comes to gems and whatnot, like they take their own thing. They're unlike any other gems. I mean, they're basically a cooled liquid. They're not too dissimilar from, it's like obsidian. So they're into that mineraloid, which is interesting. So
I was sitting here struggling to remember the word mineraloid.
So let's get into the metaphysical properties. Again, we're going to talk about water. You can't not talk about water when you talk about opal because it's full of water. And that makes it a great tool for working with the water element or watery practices such as navigating emotions or shadow work. Opal is a kick-ass shadow work stone.
Seems like it's your light in the darkness.
It is, and it goes down to the properties of it itself and its internal structure. So it's like for shadow work and internal observation, you can look to how opal refracts light. So in order for us to see the colors, as I said earlier, light is entering the material and bouncing off all of the materials on the insides and reflecting back at you so you can see the colors. I did not say balls that time. In working with opal, Perhaps it can look, it can help us do the same thing. So like when you're rocking into shadow work, you're like, all right, I've got to like look inside, which is like, and so You need to, though. That's part of the process, is that internal discovery and observation and things like that. And so if we take the same attitude, perhaps in working with Opal, it can allow us to look within ourselves and have refracted at us what it is that we need to see. And that can be really useful. Shadow work can be very overwhelming to start, or you don't know where to start. And I would encourage in moments of that to sit and meditate on that a little bit, and having something that can perhaps maybe raise up elements of yourself to your own attention can maybe help give you a direction and where to start. And also, like you said, it is the glimmering light suspended in the void. And that's always really important to remember during times of shadow work, because shadow work isn't always comfortable. And to remember, it's just it's the boat that keeps you afloat. And to see that glimmering light suspended in that, the absence of it is just nice to remember, that there is always the other side that you can get to. And even shadow work itself is beautiful and something to be cherished and admired.
It's like when Galadriel gave Frodo the light of the most beloved star.
What is it? Elandriel?
Be a light,
a light of
when all other lights go.
Elandriel? What is the light of? I don't remember what the light is called, but I always want to drink it.
Something like that. It was the star. I love when he stands up and he throws that. First of all, how did a hobbit remember this? Also, it just sounds like a fucking Harry Potter spell where he's like, Calliald, and then it starts shining.
Yeah, they did remember that. They did remember that. How'd you remember that? You've got like a wormhole brain from a ring. Like, how do you remember anything that she said to you?
Also, it's Elvish. Why does he have to say anything? Shouldn't it just be like, oh, I'm Elvish, I know I'm supposed to shine now.
You think that she could have programmed it to be like, look, if he just asks you to turn on, you know. He didn't have to say the magic words.
That's what it was. He didn't remember.
Yeah, she just made it work no matter what.
Something. Yeah.
I choose to believe that.
It's Canton.
So I really like that with Opal. I like the shadow work element with Opal, especially because it's pretty common that if you have an Opal piece, because Opal is not cheap, and it's often set as a gemstone. You might have some that were passed down as heirlooms. It's not uncommon for people to have Opal rings or bracelets or necklaces that were passed down as family heirlooms. And I like that as an extra connection and origin for connecting not only to yourself, but also if you work with ancestors and things like that. There is, and we'll get into that in a minute, but there is a tie with Opal to kind of the other side. So having these heirlooms can be really useful for that and interesting and just kind of helping you remember that you're never alone in your chain of being. And it's a good reminder of that. So featuring a whole bunch of colors, a rainbow of colors, Opal can pair well with most of your chakras. It's excellent for the crown chakra as it contains essentially all of the colors and then, of a neutral. So,
I mean, it feels very
It is, yeah.
Just looking at it.
And so it is also a good tool for balancing and cleansing the auric field because it has just kind of that high color energy that just it's kind of got everything that you need and it radiates that. So it can be really good for balancing that out and whatnot. Lots of color magic with Opal. So Opal has a really calming and soothing energy. It can be really helpful if you're trying to balance out emotions or moods. Remember, it's a wet boy. It's watery. It's all about that emotion. And there's protective energy as well.
A wet boy.
Because with how Opal reflects light out in a scattered, colorful array, I saw multiple places that in wearing or carrying an Opal as like a protective talisman, it can make it that those that might wish to dampen your mood or just not be very nice, they might not see you at all. Almost like it's just you're refracted out, which is like that pigeon energy, which is interesting because they're both shiny. They're both iridescent. And I thought that was neat. So
maybe it's that maybe it's like that during like visualization work for like shield, I know some people think of like surrounding yourself in white light or surrounding yourself in a certain
this is like
mirror
mirrors.
color or whatever. I usually do like a mirror, like there's a layer at least of mirror, and it's just like a look at yourself, don't look at me. So
and
maybe
that's kind of the vibe that it seems to
vibe?
do. So also Opal is very tied to mothers, whether it be those that are wanting to be mothers, mothers that are expecting, or mothers that are navigating a now empty nest for the first time. Opal is just a traditional gift for these times. It's very tied to mother energy for healthy, safe pregnancies, safe deliveries, things like that. It's just a very mother stone. New brides,
Mean green
like
mother from outer space.
Dude, I'm ashamed at how long it took me to realize what you were talking about. Like my eyebrows knitted down really hard, and then I was like, how did I not know? I should know. Mean green man.
And I am mad. Yeah.
So, those that engage in creative hobbies such as dance or art, or really any form of creative self-expression, can find encouragement with Opal. Perhaps a strengthening of this creative flow. It's tied quite strongly to creativity and just encouraging that, which is nice because as a creative, it can be very frustrating when it feels like that tap is just turned off. And it does take work to keep that flow open. At least for me, I'm not one of those that's just like blasting creative energy. I have to like remember, hey, if you don't focus on being creative, you just become a fucking robot. So
Aquarius says,
yeah,
schedule time for creativity.
Yeah, my Aquarius and my Capricorn fucking shit just really, they really butt heads on the creative shit. And so those that work around water, like literally work around water, whether you work on a vessel or you live on a boat or you work at like, I don't know, like a hydroelectric plant or really anything involving water, Opal can help you tie deeper into that environment and connect you further to that environment. So perhaps you just feel a little bit more at home there, which is nice. So there is big third eye energy going on here, intuition, it can be a good companion for lucid dreaming work or astral projection or spiritual travel. Having that crown connection really makes it excellent for meditation, whether it is astral meditation or just your daily meditation practice. And sometimes, just having that connection or making that connection during meditation is harder than others. So it's nice sometimes having some little spiritual friends that can make the difference and not getting discouraged that day. Even if it is just like placebo and you're like, well, I've got my Opal, I'm going to meditate. And then you do. It doesn't matter. You meditated that day. I'll take it as a win.
I'm going to meditate.
So Opal, which this didn't surprise me at all, it can be used for angel work or connecting with angels or other higher beings. There is a connection to Opal and Mercury, and therefore Hermes, also like the pigeon. And it aids in that connection to beyond and retrieval of messages that might come forth. So again, this is crown energy, really tapping into the higher realm of information that we just are not privy to here on our little plane. So Opal, and this is something I think is an important reminder, just spiritual, just and physical reminder about Opal, is that Opal also takes care. It isn't as hardy as your clear quartz might be. But like in this luster and in this brilliance, it reminds us that in order to shine from within like this, we also have to take care of ourselves. Like nothing or no one is unbreakable. And it's just as important to nurture our shine as it is to wear it. And I like that about Opal because Opal, it gives a lot and it shines a lot, but if it's not cared for, it'll dry out and it can break. And that's just an important reminder for all of us in our own shine, but to remember that like we have to nurture that or you can burn out. And so it's an important little Opal reminder. And that's Opal.
So stupid question. Do you have to like wet your Opal every once in a while?
I didn't really look into Opal care. There were multiple like pages and things on Opal care. I don't really know. I assume that if you're living in a humid environment that doesn't get super duper hot, maybe not,
I guess,
if it's like in a controlled environment, it's probably okay. But if you leave an Opal, just like outside in, like South Texas, it might dry out. I don't know how fast. or anything like that. But it is interesting how it's more alive in that sense than some other crystals.
You need to keep one of those like fancy Mr. jugs next to it.
Yeah, just give it a little. It's like your tea pet.
Listen. Oh, that was really sweet. That really got me. But also, don't take because it'll be like another malachite situation where you're like, yeah, get it wet, and then somebody's like, that.
Yeah, don't do that. I actually don't know, but there is opal care. If you have an opal piece, look into caring for it and seeing how to care for it and all of that jazz, just to keep your opal happy and healthy.
You know how you have to like start at the bottom when you're like, some people have to start at I had to start at the bottom when it came to like taking care of stuff. Cause it's like, I want a cat, but that won't turn out well. So let's start off with a plant. And then when I kept a plant alive, I got Wheatley and I love him. He's my favorite boy. Like if you want to start at the very bottom, people are like, get a pet rock. Maybe this is the pet rock that you get. Like, cause it does require some care, Then you can bounce over and get a pothos after.
Yeah. So anyway, there's your opal. There's opal for you.
Lovely.
Whatever you want.
My goodness. Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Defer to your judgment.
Wabah's washing our hands of this. We are not in charge of what you do with your opal. We don't want to know about it. Dude, I have been watching Breaking Bad for the first time in my life. Did you watch
my
Breaking
mom
Bad?
did, though. My mom loved it to pieces.
My parents watched it pretty religiously. And yesterday, being sick, I was like, fuck. I was like, I finished Dahmer. I finished, I forget what else. Something else I just kind of blew through recently. I was like, I don't know and then I saw Breaking Bad was recommended. And I've seen a couple of like, things come in cycles. Like all of a sudden there's a bunch of Breaking Bad memes everywhere. And like the sound, like, one of my favorite TikTok sounds that went around was like Saul Goodman. And he was like, did you know you have rights? The Constitution says you don't, or whatever. And I was like, I guess I'll fucking finally watch Breaking Bad. And I'm in like season 2 or the beginning of season 3, and I'm really enjoying it. But Saul Goodman was just introduced as a character, and I love him.
I have seen a good bit of Better
sleazy.
Call Saul. Like I've seen more of Better Call Saul than I have of Breaking Bad.
Same. I watched the whole first season of Better Call Saul, and then I paused, and I was like, I like this. I want a little more. Like, I want to go watch Breaking Bad. But Breaking Bad is so full of that. It was 2008, I believe, that the first one came out. So it's so full of like that early 10s vibe that it's like, it's not close enough to be nostalgic just yet, but it is close enough to be like they'll just have a scene. They had a scene in somebody's kitchen, and they had that kitchen that was like Tuscany inspired. Like the walls were like that brown.
Yeah, and that was really big then.
That had everyone in a fucking chokehold, and like the grapes, like the decorative grapes.
The decorative grapes.
You know what I mean? Or those little bottles of chili with oil that you never opened.
Yeah, the vinegars and the oils that were just purely for decoration. Oh yeah.
And they have and shit like that, and then they have like weird. You remember like the weird accent walls, like a bowl, like a yellow or a red accent wall was the shit in 2008, 9.
Which that's one that I still hang on to. Nothing makes me happier than a bold accent wall.
No. Don't get me wrong. I love a fucking accent wall. However, I think now when you think accent wall, you think either maybe like a darker color or a very bright color. However, in this time, you didn't when you got a yellow accent wall, it wasn't lemon yellow. It was like you accidentally spill mustard, and then like 3 days later, that color,
dried mustard color.
That's the color of the accent wall. Like nothing was bright. Everything just looked old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just, it's filling me with a lot of feelings about that time.
Yeah. I get that. Those were very interesting years. I've been feeling that because I still haven't seen the movies, but just from the shit posting page, all of the outfits in the Twilight movies, I've just been seeing them through the memes, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember all of y'all. I remember you. I remember you. All of you outfits. I did.
I remember Emmett is the one that I think gets the most reaction out of me, because I remember the guys wearing those fucking like polo shirts, the jockey outfit. It's the sky blue Lacoste, you know, all of that.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay. Listen, if you enjoyed this episode of the Witch Bitch Amateur Hour, you might enjoy joining our Facebook page. And then you might enjoy clicking discussion or comment section, whatever it is, and getting in on the bean can. Look for us. We're Witch Amateur Hour.
Do you hear my dogs
have an Instagram.
Howling?
No. But
I'm so impressed that you don't. These microphones are badass, dude. They are both literally just howling like a pack of wolves in there at nothing. I know there's nothing. There's nothing at all for them to howl at. They're just doing it. Amazing.
They can sense that the end of the episode is here, and they're calling for you.
They do. Speaking of, you said can, and it reminded me. Dude, when was the last time you had a Vienna sausage?
Oh, God, I was thinking about Vienna sausages the other day, and I have a craving.
Okay, I want two things. One, I want to know what day that was, because I might have sent you something. And two,
you might have.
Like 3 days ago, it was Saturday.
Yeah.
Hunter and me went.
It was like about 3 days ago.
Hunter and me went to Walmart, and we had to get some stuff early in the morning. And so we were there.
Did you get you some potted meat?
Well, I don't know why we were in that aisle, but I didn't see him he grabbed one tiny little can of plain Vienna sausages. And like, it was when we were checking out, I feel like, that I saw him scan them, and he was like, I got Vienna sausages. I was like, okay. And so we got back to the house, and he popped that can open. Because here's the thing. I grew up eating Vienna sausages. They were such a snack for me. Like, I mean, big time.
Yeah, they were in your house.
Yeah. And I think it comes from Papa, because he's the Vienna sausage and sardines man, you know? And
also an Aquarius.
He is also an Aquarius. Hunter is also an Aquarius.
I put that together.
Doesn't it make sense, though?
Like, Papa, Roger, both of y'all's are Aquarius. Yeah. It makes sense. It just everything about it makes sense.
And so we split this tiny little can of Vienna sausages with some saltine crackers. And let me tell you, bro, I fucking loved it. I immediately did that. That's the thing. I immediately had to like run and drink half of my big water jug. Like, it was so, and the whole time I was like, I'm not thinking about what I'm eating, but it was delicious. It was great.
Yeah.
And like, because we were talking about it, I was like, I wonder if this has like micronutrients in it, like all of like the gelatin and all the fucking cartilage and shit. Like, because that's what we were talking, because it's a very Aquarian conversation, because we were like, you know what? I wonder if it might actually be considered a good thing to eat like 1 or 2 of these cans a year, because you get it's the most Aquarian shit you've ever heard, while we're eating Vienna sausages and saltine crackers. But I like to think I sent you those waves.
Shit.
And now you want one.
I think you did, because it came out of nowhere. I was like, what sounds good? A fucking Vienna sausage. And I just thought about it solid for like an hour. Can we talk about Hunter's chart briefly?
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? He's more Aquarian than I am.
He's
got me beat by one. He is one more Aquarian and one less Capricorn than I am. I think that is the only difference we have in our entire charts.
His chart also looks very simple to me, because it's like there's only like 4 houses that he's working with. Yeah. And it's like everything is spread across like 4 signs.
Yeah, it's just like mine, dude. Like I'd like to see him in a picture that yours was that. But yeah, like I have everything in my shit house, 6th house.
My shit house.
It's like 6th house, 5th house, and 12th house for me, and maybe a little bit of 4th, and that's like it. I have nothing else.
Right. I know his was his biggest house was like this. Everything was in his 7th, right? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that was a difference.
Have you sent it?
Yeah, I have not. I've got to like kick it and be like, tell me what this means. But yeah, I think his was more 6th house heavy, and I'm more backwards. He's 7th house heavy, and I'm 6th house heavy. So that's interesting. Is that a lot of our placements are identical, minus like 3, or until you're getting real deep in like nodes and shit like that. But like your main guys. But like it's in different houses. So it's like that manifests differently, which is interesting because we were very, very different. And it's funny as an Aquarius, and so Aquarian as he is, he's not super Aquarian. Like you wouldn't, if you met him, it wouldn't be what you would guess. I wouldn't think.
Well, it's his rising and his moon. 2 of his big 3 are Leo.
Yeah, he's got 2 Leos in there.
Which is interesting. Hunter is an interesting case. When you get some information back from the amazing Teresa, if she is so willing to give you that information, let me.
Yeah, I'm curious. No.
Yeah. Let's see. We have an Instagram. If you're interested, it's at witchbitchamateurhour. Tell them about the Twitter.
We have a Twitter at Bitch Hour. We don't really do anything on it, but it's there and it exists on Twitter.
Basically, for information about not only us, but just all the podcasts, all the things, go to Corey.
Yeah, Corey's Cauldron will tell you everything you need to know. It'll tell you everything that we won't tell you about ourselves, which is great.
Yeah.
So you know, we are shit at social media. I think you'll know this by now.
Maybe Corey will humble us one day and just be like, listen, I've talked a lot of good shit. Let's talk about the bad shit.
You guys really fucked it today.
Yeah. Listen, I love you. I gotta say, this fucking sucks. wbahpodcast@gmail.com. Please send us your spooky stories. We got that big fat ass Halloween episode coming up. It'll be a fun time. Send us your stories. Make sure if you're sending us a spooky story that you would like read on the podcast, put the word spooky in the subject line.
And just want to say, guys,
just be the whole
there's like a backlog you wouldn't believe. So if you were wondering why your story hasn't been read yet, we're not willingly being dicks.
It's not because we hate
we have been sent, definitely hundreds, but we might have crossed 1,000 by this point. Like, we've been sent a lot. And we're currently kind of looking into how to randomize this a little bit. But that's going to take a lot of time to catalog and get set up. So just be patient with us on that.
Yeah, what we're saying is we didn't just read it and go, that's shit, and chuck it away. Like, it's still...
A lot of them we haven't even read, and that's the thing, because we don't want to spoil them, so we get them, move them to a special folder. So it's like, it's like we're not even judging them. We're just getting them ready.
My special folder.
Yeah, we're getting them ready for the read. But so just know that we don't hate you.
All right. And that is going to wrap up this sort of one take, Sally. We've got a couple of things to insert into this episode, but check out our sponsors. Really and truly, they keep the show going, as well as our Patreons. And might I remind you, Patreons like Christina.
Yeah, bro. Check out the Patreon. It helps us a lot. It literally helps us pay our bills, and eat food. And also,
this is the part where we do a pledge.
Yeah, honestly though, like, sometimes I feel like it's good to slip in and be like, we are a full-time show. This is what we do.
If you enjoy the content brought to you by WBAH, consider joining the Patreon. Isn't that what they do on pledge drives? They like low-key threaten to take the show.
And then they make you feel bad by like the classic, like, you're spending $5 at Starbucks every day on your way to fucking work. Yeah. We got $5 a month.
And it's like, don't listen. If I have $5 a month, let me say this to everyone though. I want to say this. If you have, you're on your last $5. This is your special $5 to do something for you, and it's down to getting your cup of coffee a day or getting that WBAH. I don't know why I'm assuming it would be $5, but $1, whatever it would be that you wanted to throw at us. Listen, and you really want that coffee? I don't want to make you feel bad for getting the coffee.
Yeah,
okay?
If we're talking about being down to your last funds, don't.
Yeah. Listen.
I guess we need to clarify that for some reason.
But if you get like a $3 coffee and you got like a $2 to spare,
we'll take it.
You know, consider
we'll take it from you.
Yeah, we will run up goblin
with
style
our hands out,
snatch it from your hands.
Yes, thank you.
Give it. We'll put on a short skit if you
honestly,
give us $1.
But seriously, we do a lot over there. There's videos coming. There's videos. There's video every month. There's blog.
Speaking of coming,
do you have anything to add to that? Are you just gonna?
I wanted to let it marinate for a minute. But speaking of Patreon and speaking of coming, we do have some more content coming your guys' way very soon. Look for us on a new platform. Mm-hmm. Is it one that you would expect the girls of WBAH to be?
Yes and no, maybe. Honestly, maybe. But I'll tell you, it's not in the way you expect.
No. I'm trying to drop a hint.
We gotta take the meeting first. We gotta take the meeting first and see. But possibly,
I don't want to like blow the load.
There might be some
keep your eyes
fan content on a new platform.
Yeah.
Right.
If only. Let's end the episode here. Let's just bring the music right there.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good day. Have a good week. We'll see you next week. We're back to our regular scheduled programming. You've had enough of us. We'll let you go now.
Don't eat the sus shrimp.
Don't eat the sus shrimp, please.
Don't eat the daisy. Goodbye.
I'm going to stop this now.